Hello everyone. I hope everyone are safe at home. Let us continue our discussion on the next topic of second module, gas turbine technology course. So today's topic is to begin with is ceramics. So as we know, ceramic is a non-conducting or it's a thermally insulating material. So basically, it is used for a hot sections of a gas turbines like combustion chambers, turbine blades, afterburner sections, turbine discs, and all. So these are the sections where the ceramics are used. Now, ceramics, when we say it is nothing but a material having a combination of hot pressed silicon carbide with reinforced carbon or reinforced again silicon carbide fibers. So this is nothing but the composition of a ceramic. Basically, when we say about a ceramic, which is thermally insulating material. Now, because of this advanced material like ceramics, or due to having a new cooling technology for a gas turbines, the maximum temperature what we can have, that is maximum inlet temperature for the turbine that we can have is up to 1371 degrees Celsius. So this is the maximum temperature we can go up to. So this is nothing but the first jet engine having a static turbine blade made up of ceramic matrix, which is by again CFMNG. So when we say ceramic material, which is nothing but a composite, let us try to understand where all we use a composite material in a gas turbine engine. So when you look at this diagram, the section 1 here, which shows electronic control unit, which is made up of epoxy carbon proprex or epoxy carbon fibers, whereas the second one, which is acoustic lining panels, means these are the panels required to reduce the noise or the disturbance from the noise. So these panels are made up of again glass or carbon fibers, which are high temperature adhesives. Then aluminum honeycomb structures are made for this particular section, that is acoustic lining panels, whereas the fan blades are made up of epoxy carbon propex or epoxy carbon fibers, or we can also call that as a resin transfer moldings. Whereas the fourth one, that is nothing but the cone, the nose cone, which is again made up of epoxy glass proprex. Then the section 5 here, that is nothing but the very inlet part of this particular turbofan engine, which is nothing but the nose cowl, which is again made up of epoxy glass proprex. Now the next section is 6, that is the access doors for the engine. So which is made up of UD carbon or a glass proprex with a honeycomb structure, and some adhesives will be used for this engine access doors. Then thrust reversal, see here you can see the clamshell type of a thrust reversal, where or the bucket types of a thrust reversal, where epoxy woven proprex are used. Next thing is a compressor pairing, nothing but the cowling for a compressor, that's here. Here is the compressor section. So that is again made up of epoxy carbon proprex and honeycomb structure with some adhesives. Then bypass duct, that is after fan there has to be bypass duct, see here. So this is made up of epoxy carbon proprex again. Then guide vanes, that is from the fan has to be a guide vanes, so that is again epoxy carbon proprex or RTMs. Then fan containment rig here, so that is made up of woven armid fabric. Then the 12th part, the cowling part, which is made up of carbon proprex or a glass proprex with a honeycomb structure. So this is how the composite materials are used in a gas turbine engine, and when you look at this engine, all these relatively low temperature components are only made up of these composites. Here I'm not talking about ceramics, which is basically for a combustion chamber or a afterburner if there is, or the liners. So those are made up of ceramics where the thermal resistance is required, or a heat carrying capacity of the material has to be more. So there we use ceramics. But apart from ceramics, there are other composite materials, maybe polymer based composite materials. So this diagram will help you to understand where all we use composite materials in a gas turbine engine. So let us move to the next topic, that is powder metallurgy. So what is a powder metallurgy? It's an art and science, they define it too. So it's an art and science of producing metal powders and utilizing them to making serviceable products or serviceable objects. So that is powder metallurgy. But how exactly they get this particular product? So let us understand. They initially make powders of different materials based on the requirement. So when they make powders of different materials, then they mix it accordingly proper proportion. So once they mix, they are going to compact in a machine. So for compacting, they use certain tools here. So using these certain tools, they are going to compact and give certain shape for that. Then they send that particular compacted product or a compacted thing to the sintering process. So what exactly sintering? Sintering is nothing but heat will be supplied to that particular zone or that particular product below its melting point or below its liquefaction liquidity point. And then because of this, the thermal or heat supply and the compact which is done before, that solidifies and give the certain shape, or that will solidify and give as a single product. So initially the powders are created, mixed at certain proportion, then compacted using machine. They use certain tools to give proper shape, then they sinter to give a proper bond between those powders, and then that will solidify to a single product. So this is nothing but a powder metallurgy process. Now, when we look at powder metallurgy applications, basically our day-to-day life we use for gates, cams, cranks, then bearings, roller bearings, housing. So there are many application of this, but from aeronautical point of view, that is for aerospace or avionics, here we can see we use for different parts of aircraft. So when we look at here, like the doors or the deck floor beams, then the outer flaps, wing ribs, here wings, then landing gear doors, engine cowlings, then horizontal tail plane, fuselage, which should be specific unpressurized fuselage, then tail cone. Then there are many other panels. So here all we use a product which is made up of powder metallurgy. So because this powder metallurgy makes like it is going to help us to produce that particular product with less machining, and giving certain shape will be very easy based on the tools what we are used for compacting. So that will be very easier. So when we look at this powder metallurgy, where exactly we use in engines specifically, that is for super alloys. Now, when we use super alloys for turbines, basically the turbines need to face high temperature, and for that we need to have a good thermal shock resistant materials, nothing but super alloys. Now, for those super alloys, the fabrication will be very expensive because the materials will be very hard to fabricate, and also giving certain minute detailing on those fabrication will be very difficult. So better they go for powder metallurgy. So what exactly they do in powder metallurgy process is being extensively used in production of super alloys for components of gas turbines. It is specifically for a turbines of a gas turbine engine. Now when you look at this chart here, there are different grades of super alloys what they use for a gas turbine, and their compositions are given. For example, the first one, A286 grade super alloy, has iron, chromium, nickel, molybdenum, titanium, aluminium, steel. Like that, there are so many compositions, and their remarks are also given because it is a certain grade super alloy. So it is iron based because the content of iron is there. It's a iron based super alloy, and they are going to fabricate using ingot metallurgy route. So they have given the process what they are going to use to fabricate using this particular alloy. Similarly, there are even some more, and they have given the remarks for that, like which type of super alloy is that and how exactly they are going to fabricate. So this is how the super alloys are used for turbines of a gas turbine engine, and because of using super alloys, the turbine inlet temperature range increases, with which we can have or we can generate more and more thrust. So I hope this is clear. So in today's class, we try to discuss first with the composite materials, so ceramics, and then composite materials we try to understand, and then powder metallurgy, the process we try to understand. Then we try to understand the super alloys, which are used to basically for turbines of a gas turbine engines. So if you have any doubts, please let me know. The notes is already shared with you, and you can also refer the textbooks which are prescribed in your syllabus. Thank you.